Sleep. Sometimes blur it in your Jeep so your peeps can stare at the rhymes. Real rhymes, not your everyday hologram. Even when ribs is touching, never swallow the ham.
Good morning. What's happening? Hope a good, happy Sunday. We're repping again this week. Yeah. Last couple of weeks, it's just been busy, man. But anyway, my name is Kay, and today I want to talk to you about the smart thermostats by Aqara. I think they're called the E1s is the name of them. Currently we're in the car on the way out, so yeah, you're just gonna get a candid conversation. Now, to keep it simple, for those of you that are just watching this on the fly, this is a technical device. It's a device, a gadget that you plug onto your radiators in your house, and then that allows your radiator to become a smart radiator that you can control on your phone. Yeah, so you can tell it to turn to 22 degrees or turn it on and off. So if you want the radiator in just one room to be on, then yeah, this will allow you to do that. The cost of them typically about £70 each at launch, but again, you'll find seasonal sales on these. So yeah, I say they'd range between £50 to £70, depending on the brand you go for. So yeah, now if you're subscribed to the channel or you're even watching this video, then the likelihood is you're a tech bro, yeah, or tech sis, whatever. So I'm gonna start getting into a little bit of the detail. So if you're not here for the ins and outs, then yeah, just skip this video. But if you're wanting to know good detail about this thing, then I'm gonna go into it with you, and I'll probably start doing that on a few more other videos. But I'll still try and keep it snappy. Cool. So you're probably already familiar with Aqara. They're doing great things and they're very competitively priced. Now here in the UK, if you're looking to like set up a smart home and you want to do smart heating, there's a few elements to it, yeah? Now if you've got traditional gas or electric heating and you've got radiators in the house, happy days, compared to underfloor heating, you're going to need step one is you're going to need a smart thermostat, something that's actually connected to the boiler, that can control your boiler, i.e. turn it on or off or adjust the temperature. And in my case, that was getting a smart thermostat installed by British Gas, and the thermostat we went for was Hive. And that was a complete coincidence. We had a boiler service and the guy happened to recommend Hive. And before I decided to go with Hive as the thing of choice, I needed to make sure it was actually compatible with Apple HomeKit. Lo and behold, I saw the HomeKit QR code on the bottom of the thermostat, the smart thermostat. So I said, boom, we're in. It fits right into the ecosystem. The cost of a Hive smart thermostat was about £250. That included fitting. That included the thermostat, which is and that comes in a few parts. So you get the thermostat that's connected to the actual, boiler itself. And that allows you to have a manual on and off button. Then you get the wireless actual thermostat dial thing that you can control. It has a physical knob on it that you can change the, temperature with. And it allows you to use the app, which is pretty sophisticated. And then thirdly, that also comes with a transmitter that talks between the thermostat and the boiler, right? The good thing about that particular thermostat is the transmitter can be connected to your Wi-Fi by Ethernet and by Wi-Fi. So in my case, the first time we had it set up, the guy set it up with Ethernet and the internet was cutting out here and there. So when I'd be requesting smart commands, sorry, I've just seen a new poster and I look pretty sick. When you're requesting smart commands through voice control, it was a bit iffy, and even controlling it with the phone, it was cutting out. So I spoke to the support team, and then they got me set up on Wi-Fi, and that meant that I could physically move the receiver to be more central in the house, so that the network was a bit more stable. So that was good to learn. Great features. The alternative to Hive is what do you call it, Tado. I know they've got some good products as well. A consideration for those are the fact that they don't, well, currently I don't think that they support Matter, which means that you'll run into a challenge where if you decide to get radiator valves that you can control each individual radiator with, you'd be tied down to getting proprietary valves, i.e. I could only get smart valves from Hive. You can't then pick up a Tado TRV to work with your Hive thermostat system. And that's what led me to do further research and find out that Aqara is completely independent of which thermostat you've got connected to your boiler physically, right? So whether you use Tado, whether you use Hive, the good thing about Aqara is that it works on the Zigbee protocol or Matter. So the Aqara thermostats that I've got work on Zigbee, and I've already got a Zigbee hub, i.e. I have the Aqara smart doorbell, and that also doubles as a hub. So the technical way this is connected is that these smart radiator thermostats are connected to the doorbell, which is then connected to my Apple HomeKit, and it allows everything to talk to each other. So I'll send a quick screenshot. So within the Apple HomeKit app, you've got the Hive thermostat, which is connected. That allows for you to turn on the heating from the boiler. You can then tell it to set to whatever temperature you want. And that alone was great. Now you've got the actual individual thermostats. You can tell Apple HomeKit to turn on just one room to whatever temperature you want. The caveat with these is that you have to bear in mind that these smart radiator valves from Aqara work as limiters. So what do I mean by that? You can't tell Siri to just turn on the bedroom radiator and then that will turn on the boiler. So you need to, in theory, first turn on the boiler, so turn the Hive thermostat on so that it gets the heating going, and then you can turn every other radiator in the house off or to a low temperature and just adjust one room to be a higher temperature. That's how it works. You could probably then take it a step further if you're that way inclined and set up a Siri shortcut where you can say a voice command such as just turn the front of the heating on, and then it follows those actions I've just previously mentioned in some way anyway. But for your basic setup, that's how it goes, yeah? And so far, that's been working pretty well. So I'm really happy with it. The outcome, again, able to control the heating in any room. You can set automations. So for example, an automation that I have set up, first thing in the morning, the bathroom radiator turns on, the towel dryer, yeah? So that'll heat our towels up, bathroom mat, so that by the time they're ready to go and get ready, nice warm towels. And that's all achieved by saying, cool, HomeKit, when 6 a.m. occurs every day, do X, Y, Z, and it runs through it. So that's it. Aqara had a great promotion where you could get like 6 thermostats, smart thermostats, just before they discontinued the first gens. There was like 6 for £150. Great value. I haven't seen any seasonal sales on the likes of like Hive or Tado that come close to that. And then you've got to consider the fact that it's pretty versatile. So if you decide to upgrade one radiator's thermostat to a newer version, the one that supports Matter, that Aqara has recently released, then you can do that. And you'll have minimal disruption to the smart home. And the fact that those thermostats can connect to an external temperature reader in the room. So we've got Aqara FP3s in every room as well, which are wireless sensors that can also detect temperature presence, light presence, and occupancy. More specifically, what do you call it? I forgot the name of the sensor. Millimeter wave occupancy. So you can set more complex automations based on that. If you was to go for a proprietary thermostat like Hive or Tado that don't support Matter, they may not have been able to use third-party temperature sensors or anything else for that matter to connect to. One of the things I like about these thermostats in particular is that they're very aesthetic. Well, I like the actual look of them. They're very minimalistic. They run on battery. Little screen on them's really nice. So they look good as well. So yeah, man. One of the things to consider though, if you're starting up a smart home and you want to try and get smart heating, it is not as simple as just buying the thermostats and then you're good to go. Like obviously you got to get them fitted. And in my case, I had the extreme scenario. Extreme being, my radiators in the house didn't actually have any TRVs on them. They were like the old style. So we had to first get those converted from the old style to be then compatible with a TRV head. So we had to get a plumber around. Shout out Chris, saved our life. He came around, sorted that out. And that in itself is no easy job. Look into it or have a conversation with me if you are in the same situation. You'll see some footage where I tried to do this myself following YouTube videos and it went horribly wrong. Nearly flooded the whole house. So yeah, don't do that. Leave it to the professionals. But yeah, once you've got that sorted, actually putting the TRV head onto the actual radiator itself is a very easy job, piece of cake, and then you're good to go, man. So yeah, and in terms of actually getting these installed on the Aqara app, 5-minute job or less, very easy. Again, only thing I would say with the setup that was pretty painful is because these thermostats connect to the G4 100 or the G400 doorbell, the Aqara doorbell. Currently, let me just check the maps. How do I check maps? Am I even recorded? Yeah, anyway. When you connect the thermostats to a doorbell, yeah, because it works as a Zigbee hub, that's great. But then in order to take those changes into the HomeKit app, you need to remove the doorbell from HomeKit and re-add it again for it to pick up any new accessories that you've added to the doorbell. And that ended up wiping out a lot of automations that I already had set up in there. So I had to essentially go through anything that was connected to the doorbell, setting it up from scratch again, renaming it. And that was a very long process. So I'd love for there to be an update where you can continue to add new accessories to the doorbell as a Zigbee hub. And then HomeKit just take in any new accessories that you've added without you having to remove the doorbell from HomeKit and re-add it again. Painful process. And anyone that's actually going even further than that, you've got people doing up Home Assistant and other things that I haven't even dived into yet because it's complicated enough as it is. But yeah, once you get your head around that, you're all good. Yeah, man. So these are sick. Highly rate them. They work well. Still a good purchase option in 2026. I missed the promotion and managed to find them on the eBay. Got quite a bunch of them at a good price. And then, yeah, man, it's good to go. Let me know your experience if you've got these or if you're considering them. And if there's any other HomeKit compatible thermostats that you've been using, that works out for you. Bless.